Hey, and welcome to the Mark and Mark Show. Today we're going to go over our 2023 NFC over-under predictions. So we're going to go by division, starting with the NFC North, followed by the NFC South, NFC East, and lastly we're going to do the NFC West. So let's get it kicked off with the NFC North. Lions 9.5. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to take the over. I like Jared Goff this year. I like the additions they added in Gibbs, Mosley, Gardner from Philly, safety. I like Campbell, the middle linebacker they drafted from Iowa. And the coach Campbell's going to have him biting at the kneecaps. Give me Detroit over.
Detroit under. I have Detroit as under. I just don't see him winning 10 games this year. Jared Goff, he's 12-18-1 with the Lions. If you remember back when he was with the Rams, he did have a winning record. He was a great quarterback. Seems like the system's not really winning with him at quarterback. Then you look at his backup, Nate Sudfeld, 6th-round pick in 2016. He's played in 7 years in the NFL. Played for 4 teams. So they don't have a great quarterback depth. They don't have the best starting quarterback. And then you look at their record the last 30 years, they've only had 4 years with 10-plus wins in a season. I do not see them getting their 5th this year. So, second, Green Bay Packers 7.5. What are your thoughts?
Give me the under. I think losing Aaron Rodgers is a big loss for them. Defense is, they'll be okay. They can run the ball. I just don't see it. So I'm going to take the under in that one.
How do you think A.J. Dillon's going to do this year?
The same. It's Aaron Jones' team. He's going to get his backup carries, but
do you think they're going to focus a lot more on the running attack this year with the loss of Aaron Rodgers, or how do you think they're going to handle their offense?
I think they're going to try to do the same thing. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot, do the same system they got. I think they got confident Jordan Love that he can get the job done. I just haven't seen enough of that to get to that many wins, so I'm going to take the under.
I agree with you on that. I think it's a situation where the quarterback's unproven. Every indicator so far is he's not NFL ready, at least from what we've seen on the field. And then their backup, Sean Clifford, pick out of Penn State. Watching him 4 years at Penn State, he started a lot of games. He had a lot of playing time, got a lot of tape. I don't think he's NFL ready either. So I think that they're going to be a team going in there without a quarterback. Never a good situation. Your Chicago Bears 7.5.
I'm going to take the over. I like Justin Fields. I like what he's starting to do. He's bringing to the game, running the ball. I think he's going to get better at throwing it this year. DJ Moore is definitely going to help with that. I think they got the defense built up a little bit. I think they're still missing some pieces there, but they think they get to that 7.5, get 8 wins, maybe 9 wins. Claypool, if he can get, off his ass, get playing a little bit. He's over there. I heard in Paris doing a little modeling right now, so I don't know about that guy, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll get the 8-9 wins.
I'm excited to see how Justin Fields does this year. I know I was saying it last year. He's he could potentially be the most dangerous player in the NFL just out of pure athleticism.
For sure.
Do you think he's going to be the first Bears quarterback to ever throw for 4,000 yards? Do you think he's the guy?
I think he's the guy, but it probably won't happen this year. I think maybe down the road. I think they focused on running the ball with Herbert and the guy they got from Tennessee. What's that big guy they got from Tennessee? Can't remember the name. Foreman. So I think they're going to focus on run the ball. And then, Fields is going to run for his 1,000 yards. So I think it's going to be more of a running attack than passing this year. But I think eventually you see Fields gets 4,000 in a year or two.
I'd like to see it. I have Bears over as well. So we're in agreement there. Last team of the NFC North, Minnesota Vikings. What are your thoughts? 8.5.
I'm going to take the over. I think I know losing Cook's a big loss, but I think Cousins will get through. They got Jefferson, probably the best receiver in the league. I think their defense is okay. So I think they get the 8.5. It's going to be close. That's a tough call on that one. But I'm going to say the over. They won a lot of close games last year that they're, one touchdown gains. I think they squeak it out, but it's going to be close. I give them the over.
It'll be interesting. I have them as the under right now. I think they're in a tough division. I think the Lions, I don't see them winning 10 games, but I see them being competitive. I see the Bears being competitive, and the Packers always find a way to beat them. So I think that they're going to have a pretty tough year this year. They lost Thielen, Eric Kendricks, Dalvin Cook. The Danielle Hunter situation seems kind of fucked right now, so we'll see how that pans out. But to me, it seems like it's going to be a rebuild year. Kirk Cousins also on the last year of his deal. So I think it's going to be largely a rebuild year. Get a high first-round pick, maybe get Marvin Harrison, maybe get Caleb Williams.
Imagine Marvin Harrison and Jefferson.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I think
gotta
that
get a quarterback though. I don't know about Cousins though.
I think they're going to go after one of those big names. So I see it as rebuild year, taking the under.
For sure.
Let's go to the NFC South. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 6.5. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to take the under. I think their team right now, after Tom Brady left, they're kind of in turmoil. I don't like the coach. Quarterback, who they got? Trask at quarterback or Baker, the cupcake maker? I don't see it. I think they're going to have a bad year. Give me the under.
I'm taking the under as well. I know they still have a lot of pieces from their Super Bowl team a couple of years back, but they just don't have the magic anymore. They don't have Tom Brady. They lost Gronkowski and who's that other tight end they used to throw to all the time? I know he left as well.
Nah, I can't remember.
They lost their 2 tight ends, and that's definitely going to be a hindrance to them. Baker Mayfield, he's not the best quarterback. I don't think he can win too many games. And then Kyle Trask, we just haven't seen very much from him. So I'm taking the under as well. Second team, NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. They're at 9.5. What are your thoughts?
Seems like a lot, but is Kamara going to play? Is he in trouble? I mean, I know he got in trouble for beating somebody up. Hopefully he's back. Derek Carr, Michael Thomas.
Is Michael Thomas back?
They say he's back, but he hasn't been back since about 2-3 years.
I thought he was retired. I didn't know he was still in the NFL.
He's back. Kamara's banged up. I mean, in trouble. So I'm going to take the under. They do got a very good defense, but I'm going to go the under. I don't trust Derek Carr. And I don't know, like I said, Kamara, if he's back. I don't know. Michael Thomas, he can't stay on the field. So give me the under.
I'm taking the under as well. I don't see them getting anywhere near 10 wins. I see the same issues. I don't think Derek Carr is a great quarterback in the NFL. Plus, he's going into a new system, so it'll be interesting to see how good he can do in New Orleans. And then, like you said, Michael Thomas, he never sees the field. Is he actually going to play this year? If he plays, how much is he going to play? Alvin Kamara's situation's up in the air. So if I was in Vegas, I wouldn't feel any confidence whatsoever betting the over for the 9.5. So my take on it. Next team, Carolina Panthers, 7.5.
7.5. Stroud at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carolina's building a little bit. But I just don't see him get to 7.5. I don't think they got the talent yet. I think Stroud will be a good quarterback, but he's a rookie, so it's going to take him some time. Getting rid of McCaffrey was a big loss last year. He's not going to be there, so I don't see it. I take the under.
I take the under as well. Rookie quarterback's never a good situation, and put on my tinfoil hat here. I don't think Ohio State ever produces good quarterbacks, and so CJ Stroud pick.
Justin Fields might be the guy.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out this year about Fields. I think he's got to produce. If he don't, and
We'll see what happens. CJ Stroud, it seems like Ohio State puts out a lot of really great athletic quarterbacks, but they just do not have the tools to make it in the NFL. He could be an exception. Personally, I just don't see it happen. I mean, he seems like the exact same quarterback that Justin Fields was, Troy Smith was way back in the day. They've always had the same kind of quarterback plan. It just doesn't fit the NFL style. And so I definitely am picking the under on that one. Although I do like their new running back, Penn State guy. I think that he's going to have a good year if he can stay on the field, Miles Sanders. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do, especially in an offense where last year it was designed for Christian McCaffrey. He's kind of the same kind of guy, quick, agile. See what he can do.
But he's the same way. He can't. It seems like when he gets a lot of carries for Philly, he got hurt. I mean, he's a guy. Can he carry the load? Can he get 20 carries, catch 4 or 5 balls on the backfield? Because it seems like Philly kind of limited his touches for that reason. He was always getting banged up. So
that is true.
We'll see how that goes.
Last team of the NFC South, we got the Atlanta Falcons, 8.5. What's your pick?
I'm going to take the over. I like the Falcons this year. I like the way Arthur Smith's building the team. I mean, they're going to have a good defense. Kind of building like Tennessee used to be. Ridler's going to be the quarterback. They're going to run the ball heavy with Robinson, the rookie out of Texas. Good defense. Grady Jackson in the middle. The big pickup is Jesse Bates from Cincinnati at safety. Drake London, receiver. I think they're going to surprise some people this year and have a good season. I can see them winning 9-10 games. Give me Atlanta in the over.
I disagree. I'm taking the under. And the reason I'm taking the under is I don't like their quarterback situation at all. So it's basically you got to choose between Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. Heineke started, 9 games, 1 time in the last 5 years in the NFL. 2021, he started 15 games, had a 7-8 record, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That's his most complete season he's ever played. And then you look at Desmond Ridder. Last year he was a backup quarterback for Marcus Mariota. And then this year it's like, if we're asking the question, are you going to beat out Heineke? It tells me you're not the best quarterback at this point in time. Not saying he can't get there.
I think he's the quarterback. He proved, I think, limited time he played last year, that he can get the job done. Because I think it's, he's a Tannehill kind of quarterback like Tennessee used to have. They're going to run the ball and play good defense. And I think he's good enough to get some scores for him to get the job done.
It'll be interesting to see. How do you think they're going to use Kyle Pitts this year? It seems like they drafted him. Everyone had high hopes. He made a few good plays, but he hasn't really panned out. Do you think they're going to start designing that offense, giving him more passes, or what do you think they're going to do?
You would think, but I just don't know. I mean, you would think so, but I think this offense is going to be run-first offense. So, he's going to get what he got last year. I don't think he's going to get 10 targets a game because I don't see him throwing the ball a lot, So it is what it is. I don't, for them, I don't know if he fits their offense, to be honest with you. But, he's going to get a few catches here and there, but I don't think he's going to be any dominant force or anything like that.
Got it. So, yep, Falcons 8.5. You had the over, I had the under. Let's go to the East. Dallas Cowboys 9.5. What are your thoughts?
Oh, 9.5. Give me the over. How about them Cowboys? I think Prescott has a good year. I'm a little worried about running back with, Pollard being the guy back there after coming off a broken leg. I'm thinking maybe the Cowboys look at Delvin Cook. Jerry Jones always talks about we do what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. Well, how about go get another running back in case Pollard's not there, not 100%. I like their defense. Micah Parsons is a stud on defense. I mean, they got a hell of a defense. CeeDee Lamb, good receiver. So I'm going to take the over. And I look for them to maybe pick up Cooks. But I think Pollard can get the job done. So I'm definitely taking the over.
I couldn't agree more. I think they're going to have a great year this year. When I look at Dallas, the biggest thing, I know a lot of the times late season they fall apart. You just look at the roster on paper, they have too much talent.
Oh,
not
to
100%.
win 10 games. They got talent. But, it seems like Dallas, they're a playoff team, but it seems like they're blowing the playoffs. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the current head coach, it seems like he doesn't make the best decisions when he has to. But I do. I mean, despite that, I agree with you. I see them winning over 10 games this year, easy. Next team, Philadelphia Eagles, 11.5.
11.5. Good football team, but, man, that's a lot of wins and a tough schedule. But I'm going to take them.
I'm going to take them, too.
I'm buying into Hurts. I'm buying into A.J. Brown, other receiver, Alabama. I just see their defense is one of the best in the league. So you got to have a good defense, and they do. I think Hurts has another big year, and I think Philly does too. I think they cover that. I like the coach. He's proven that he can get the job done. I mean, give me Philly. Great offensive lines. Defensive line's probably the best in the league, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that defensive tackle out of Georgia, if he can come in there and get the job done, look out. They're going to be loaded.
I agree 100%. I'm a big defensive line guy, and so Philly's they're going to be one of the teams to beat for sure. Hassan Reddick, he doesn't get talked about too much. He's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. He cannot be blocked.
For sure, I agree with that. Yeah, he's a stud off the edge.
So yeah, I have the over as well. I think that they're going to perform better than they did last year.
They're another team that maybe look at Cooks. They got Swift that's injury prone, and Penny from Seattle, both injury prone guys. I think Birdwell, whatever it is, coming back, but they're another team, Super Bowl contenders. I mean, Cook's out there. One of these teams should be snagging a guy like him, I would think. I mean, they're right there.
It's not going to hurt to have him on your roster.
No, for sure. I mean, I think it'd be a big ad for them.
I agree 100%. Washington Commanders, 6.5. With your boy Ron Rivera.
I think he's short-lived. I mean, I love him as a coach, Bears player and all, but I think they're a train wreck. Organizations, I just don't buy it. I think they're in trouble. Quarterback-wise, I don't see it. I think under. I don't think they win 5 games.
I agree. I see them winning 3-4 games this year.
That's what I say, yeah.
I think, to me, it all starts from the top down. You look at the ownership situation right now, you can't expect the front office to want to work their ass off for that. You can't expect the players to work their ass off for that. And I know these guys have contracts on the line. They're working for a lot of money. It's a privilege to play in the National Football League. But you look at their organization, just the way that they handle themselves, the press that they're getting. I think that there's going to be a lot of people against them, and that's never good in the NFL. And so I see them winning maybe 3-4
Sam
games
Howell,
this year.
quarterback. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like what's the guy for Ohio State, Chase Young? I don't think he even wants to be there. They do got a great defensive line, but
I don't think from everything he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
I've heard that too.
And I don't know if he'll be there when season comes. I mean, they might get rid of him, trade him.
100%. Plus, Sam Howell, he has to play Dallas. He has to play Micah Parsons twice a year and Hassan Reddick twice a year.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to be,
I think Washington's in for a tough road.
I agree. Last team in the NFC East, the New York Football Giants at 7.5.
Oh, I think that's way under. That'd be a lock for me to take that one to the window. I mean, I like the coach, D-Ball from Buffalo. I think he's a hell of a coach. Barkley, is he coming? I think I think he plays. You know, a lot of talk about him setting out, da-da-da-da-da. I think he plays. I think the addition of Darren Waller really helps. They got a good defense. And I think Danny Dimes takes off this year. I mean, I think he's on the path for like Josh Allen kind of. You know, started off a little bit slow in his career, and D-Ball helped him around. And I think the same thing happens to Danny Dimes. I think he becomes one of the good quarterbacks this year.
I agree. I think Brian Dable's a fantastic coach. I love his offensive system. And I, like you said, 7.5, that's not very many games to win.
No, I thought that was low looking. I was like, oh, yeah, I like that.
So I'm taking the over there easy. Last division, we have the NFC West. Seattle Seahawks, 8.5.
I really like Seattle this year. Just something tells me, been in Seattle, grew up around Seattle, not in Seattle, but around there. I like Seattle. I like the coach. I like some of the ads. I think they're kind of bringing back the Legion of Boom with the draft of Witherspoon at cornerback, Adams back, Wolin, the other cornerback out of San Antonio, whatever it is, Texas, I think it is.
UTSA, I believe.
UTSA, yeah, he's a great one. I think the receiver they got at Ohio State, man, they get him, Lockett, Metcalf. You know, Geno Smith's got to have a good year. I think he does. I mean, I think their defense is vastly improved. I like them this year. I'm going to take the over.
See, I'm taking the under on that one. And for the exact reason you just mentioned. I think if Geno Smith has the year that he had last year, I think it's the over. Easy. Yeah. But you look at Geno Smith, he's a 9-year NFL vet, 22-29 as a starter. He's not the kind of guy who is ever able to consistently put up big numbers. Even his early days with the Jets, he'd have a big game every once in a while, but it was never a consistent thing. I think last year, it was a fluke. I do think that even if it was a fluke, Seattle did a fantastic job giving him more weapons. Like you said, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba out of Ohio State.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's gonna be a major contributor to their offense. But I think overall the offensive production goes down. Essentially, Geno would need to replicate last year to cover and win 9 games. And so I just don't see it happening.
I think it does, but I think Walker, the running back out of Michigan State they got last year, I think he has a huge year.
You think they're going to focus more on the running?
I think they're going to give him the ball a little bit more. He's a great running back. I mean, I think he takes off this year. That's why I don't think they rely on Geno as much. I think they run the ball a lot, and I think that helps them out, helps the defense and everything. That's why I'm taking the over.
I think so, too. If they can establish the run, it's something I hadn't even considered. See, in my head, I had it. They're going out. They got Jackson at Ohio State. They got DJ Metcalf on their team. They got Tyler Lockett, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. I figured they're going to go out there this year guns a-blazing, and I thought he was going to throw a lot of picks. But if you're right, if they are focusing on that running attack, getting him involved, I do think that they have a lot higher likelihood of winning 9 games.
Yeah, I think they Walker's a stud. I mean, he's a guy. I mean, he's going to be great back in the league, and I think he proves it this year. He gets on track. He had some great games last year. He got banged up a little bit. I expect a big year from him.
Got it. Let's go to our next team. We have the Los Angeles Rams, 6.5.
6.5. I think that's, they lost a lot of players, but 6.5. You got Stafford, Akers, Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I'm going to take the over. That seems low. I mean, Cooper Kupp's coming back. I know they're not going to be a great team. I'm going to take the over. I think they get to 7-8 wins. I'm going to take the over. I like the coach. I think he comes out. He's got something to prove that this year. I mean, last year was a flop. I think he's got something to get these guys going. I think I take the over.
Yeah, I don't see it. I get where you're coming from. I don't see it. I think that Sean McVay's a great head coach, but what he did was he sold out for that Super Bowl. He sold out for it. And now they don't have a lot of their guys. They don't have Bobby Wagner anymore. They don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. They don't have a lot of the guys that brought him there. Andrew Whitworth, that offensive tackle that they had, they sold out to be good for 2 years. And I think that right now what we're seeing is that the tail end of that. What's it look like after you put everything in to win the Super Bowl? So I think they're going through this. I mean, and I didn't mention it at the time, but I think the Bucs are going through the same thing.
I agree with you on that. I just think 6.5. I think they can squeak that. I agree. They got, they went every balls out for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they got enough to get it done. I think Akers runs the ball a little bit more this year. I think their defense is, your Ramsey, like you said, it's a tough loss losing Ramsey. But I think they get 7-8 wins.
7-8
nothing
wins.
Major.
How do you think Stafford's going to do when he? I mean, I saw a statistic: 9 out of the 10 years he's played every game, he's thrown for 4,000 yards. Do you think he's throwing for 4,000? You saw last year he's kind of fucked up a little bit, wasn't throwing for as many before he got hurt. Do you think he's done, or do you think he's coming back all guns a-blazing?
If he can stay healthy, and Cooper Kupp stays healthy, yeah, give him 4,000 yards. I mean, Cooper Kupp, he's a great receiver. The thing is, can Stafford stay healthy? He's had shoulder problems and stuff like that. If he can stay healthy, I think he gets 4,000.
Got it. Next team is the San Francisco 49ers, 10.5. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna take the over, mainly because of their defense. Their defense is stout, Bosa, so on like that. McCaffrey's a big add, and he's gonna continue to make this team better. Deebo Samuels, Ayuk on the outside. Quarterback, is he going to be healthy? I think so. Trey Lance is Trey Lance going to be there? I mean, a lot out here, I think, Darnold is it from USC? They like him at number 2. Yeah. So do they trade Lance or they keep him around? Because I don't. We'll see. But I got to take the over. I think them and the Eagles best teams in the NFC by far.
I agree. I think this was one of the easiest picks over. They're the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. Good coach.
Look at their team. Look at their team though. Look at the players on the field. Brandon Ayuk, stud. Joey Bosa, stud. Christian McCaffrey, like you said, Deebo Samuel. They have so many good players. Fred Warner on defense. They have so many good players.
And they got Hargrove, was it, for Philadelphia?
You're right. Yeah, the middle defensive line.
Add to him. Look out, that defensive line.
They still have Eric Armstead, right?
Yeah. You think them two with Bosa? Good luck blocking them.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be unstoppable.
The only question is Purdy. Can he? Is he going to be healthy?
I don't know.
Can he put up the year he did last year? That's the big question mark with 49ers. If he does, I think they dominate. I don't think he's got to be fantastic with the running game they got, the defense, but limited to turnovers, and I think they easily get the 10.5.
Easily. I'm kind of the opinion they brought Brock Purdy in there, and we saw what he did. Do they even? So what? He's hurt. Bring in anybody. Bring in the guy sitting outside of the Costco. He could probably win games for San Francisco. I don't think you need a good quarterback.
I agree. You don't. I think you got to have a guy that don't throw a lot of interceptions, makes turnovers, and that's why Darnold is like, I'm not sure. A lot of talk is, he's looking good. It's like he's a turnover machine.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's like I'd say with Trey Lance or my backup, he can run the ball a little bit, but just play the game. Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer bought him won the Super Bowl doing the same thing. Didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, he just didn't throw picks.
Not a great quarterback, but he got the job done. I think that's just like the 49ers. They got the defense you don't have to do. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be great. But he's got the weapons, so he should be fine. Kittle at tight end, too? Yeah.
Unstoppable. Last team, Arizona Cardinals, 4.5.
Under. I think they're bad. Kyler Murray, is he going to play this year? He's banged up.
He doesn't watch film.
Is he studying? He's room to film? I don't know. They got rid of D-Hop for nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, when you get rid of one of the best receivers, just cut him. They're a train wreck. They're kind of, them and the Redskins are kind of, I think the Redskins are a little bit better, but Arizona's a bad football team right now. They got some players, but not enough.
I agree. I just don't think that they have the talent at this point to win more than 4 games. At all. I think Kyler Murray, he's probably the shining star in regard to talent on their team, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, he's got all the talent in the world, mm-hmm. But can he say?
He doesn't watch film. He doesn't even, they say, allegedly.
I think it's size. He's a little guy, taking hits in the NFL. He's not a big guy. He's quick as snot, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know the film. That's, people say he watches and then he don't, but. Mm-hmm. I just don't think the talent's there. I think he's a baller quarterback. Yeah. If he ain't watching film, man, if he did, look out.
That's what I'm saying.
He's pretty good for not watching film.
But I think they got him very talented. But then you look at the rest of the roster, like James Conner, running back. He's not.
He's okay.
Nothing against him. He's not that talented.
No,
I mean, he's no DeAndre Swift. He's no Dalvin Cook. He's just not really. That's the best way to describe it. He's not that talented.
Yeah,
and I think that's a lot of their team.
But he gets the job done. Good guy. I mean, I like the guy. I like Connor. But like you said, he don't have this. He don't have the talent some guys does. But he's a grinder. He'll get the yards when he has to. But the offensive line, I think, is going to be weak this year. So it's going to be hard everywhere there. Defense is bad. Offensive line's not very good.
New head coach.
I don't even know. I don't know about that guy either. So I think they're
3-win team.
Franchise is going downhill in a hurry.
100%. I think they're a 3-win team.
Yeah.
But let's finish it up. Let's. What are your 3 locks? If you were in Vegas right now, had to make these bets, what are the 3 you're most confident in?
I'm gonna say the 49ers at 10.5. I think they have a big year, man. I just with that defense, I just take them at 10.5. My second pick. Let me look at who we got here. I like the Giants over 7.5. We talked about. I think that's just eye-popping to me when I seen it 7.5. It's like another one. Let's find the under here that I'm a little bit confidence in. I think the Packers under 7.5. I just don't see him getting there. I think Aaron Rodgers, kind of the whole franchise took a big when he left. For years you have great quarterback play with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and then they go to Jordan Love. I'm not saying in the future Jordan Love might not be a good quarterback. I just don't. From what I've seen, I don't think he's ready. They've lost a lot of weapons on offense. So I just I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. I could see it. I could see them covering, but they're not one of my picks. So I think my 3 that I would say are locks. Number 1, like you said, San Francisco, easy. I think that they're a 13-14 win team. Dallas, I believe the last 2 years, I believe they were 12-4.
Yeah.
So to say they're at 9.5, I think I'm fairly confident that they're going to win at least 10 games. So I'd say that they're number 2. There's no way. Number 3, I'm going to pick an under as well. Minnesota Vikings at 8.5. I think in a season where seems like they're probably going to try to lose more than they win, I don't see them winning 9 games. I really do think that they might start off the year fighting hard, but I think that once they go 1-3,
I agree. Maybe
1-4,
if they get rid of Hunter, that's going to be a big blow to their defense and the whole team. If you get rid of one of your prized defensive guys before the season, that would show you that, hey, we're not trying this year. We're not trying this year, and that would deflate the team. But so I agree with that.
Absolutely. Any other topics you wanted to cover?
I think that's it for now, but we will go over these later on as they get closer to the season. We'll make a new list because of all the stuff that could happen. People get hurt, Cooks, who's he go to? There's a lot of guys out there that are pretty good that still ain't on the team right now.
Oh, absolutely. I saw a list. It was on Twitter. I think that it's like something like just a shitload of guys that started last year in the National Football League. It's like they're not even on a team.
Yeah,
like they're a starting football player, and they're not even getting picked up as backups. They're absolutely mind-blowing.
I mean, Cooks and D-Hop's the top 2, but they're both studs. Where do they go? I mean, they could, they're going to make a team win 1 or 2 wins, I think. I mean, you take Cooks, you throw him on a mediocre team, maybe they get to cover. I mean, that's the way I look at it, and D-Hop's the same way. A lot of talk is D-Hop's looking at New England. Cooks, they said, has already got offers, so he's kind of got stuff on the table. He's decided where he wants to go. I think both of them want to go to a winner, so I think they go to a winning team. That's why I'm saying Philly should be looking at them guys, running backs.
And I would say if they're a package deal, which I heard rumors that they want to be, if a team like the Rams picks them up, I think that automatically makes them one of the teams to beat.
That's a team that kind of does that kind of stuff.
That's what I mean.
We'll jump on that, but
sell out again.
That's a lot of money. You're going to pay them 2 guys. You better have some money.
That's true. I don't know what their cap situation looks like.
They ain't coming cheap.
That's
Put
true.
it that way. So there's only a few teams. The Chicago Bears could probably, spin it. But I don't know if either one would come there. Because they're not contenders yet. Give it a couple years.
If they came there, maybe.
I'm saying if they come there, but it's a tough right now. It's like teams kind of got their guys, and they want to see how they do in practice and OTAs and all that, and see where they're at. And I think teams are waiting on who gets hurt.
100%.
I mean, somebody gets banged up, boom, Cooks comes off the board. Somebody's going to pay a ton of money for him. Receiver goes, hey, Claypool, what is it? Let's say he was the starter modeling. He said, I'm done with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Big pickup, go get Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure you get Hopkins now. I mean, from what I read, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure. He's hard to motivate. If you can't be motivated in the NFL, then you're never going to be.
Well, especially if you're fighting for your job like he is.
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
fighting for a starting position in the NFL, and you're not
100%.
motivated. You're never gonna nothing's gonna motivate
Yeah, to
you.
me, it's hard. I know you gave up a second-round pick for him, so it's hard for a team to say, oh, we're just going to let him go. We gave up a second-round pick because that's hard to
swallow.
Hard to swallow for the GM.
But it makes him look bad because in the next contract they're going to say, "Hey, remember that?"
I remember that pick. But every GM has that one guy they picked up that was bad.
Yeah.
So to me though, Hopkins is a guy. If he come to Chicago, I don't know, but I'd be sure offering him money or give him a talk to and say, hey, what about Chicago?
I think that's it. If they offered him a shitload of money.
I mean, Chicago, like Mooney's a free agent next year. Claypool's a free agent. So getting rid of Claypool is like he's a free agent next year anyway.
This was not even
So it's like, well, yeah, I lost on a year, whatever it is. I lost a year out of it, but, sometimes you got to just cut your losses.
It's like you have to think, how many balls do you think he's going to get this year anyway? I don't think they're going to target him too much. The way that everything I hear out of training camp, he's hard to motivate. I don't think, if you're Justin Fields, are you going to give him the rock? I wouldn't think so.
I think Mooney's their guy. Tight end, Kmet. They got Tonya from the Packers.
Yeah.
Tight end. So, no, I don't think, maybe some deep balls here and there. Go deep, throw it up. But every time you throw it high to him, he wants to catch it down by his knees. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, thank you. Bye.